ringside, ready to go with another day of Championship Wrestling. Lance Russell taking a day off. He'll be back with us next week. Coming up this week on Championship Wrestling, you will see the Poffos, Sir Lenny Poffo, and he'll be teamed with the Macho Man, Randy Savage. He will be here in our opening match today. Coming up a little bit later, it should be a terrific match. Phil Hickerson on one side of the ring, on the other, it'll be Rick Rude. Then later today, Forinko will be here, and in the main event, it's going to be teamed up now, the King, Jerry Lawler, and his partner will be Handsome Jimmy Value. All of it coming up today on Championship Wrestling. We'll be back with it in just a moment. Stay with us. Hey, we're going with the Championship Wrestling action today. Lance has been telling you for the last couple of weeks that Championship Wrestling is cooperating with the nationwide effort to help locate missing children. Thousands and thousands of children missing nationwide. We're trying to kind of perhaps do our part to help out. Jerry Lawler is here with us right now with a friend of his. Jerry?
Thank you, Dave. You're right. I do have a little buddy of mine here, and I wanted to talk for just a second to Jason and to everybody out there. You know, there's nothing more important to anybody in the world than your children. I'm sure you all agree with that. And the problem that is becoming an epidemic all across the country with children being kidnapped or coming up missing or running away from home is such a problem that, as you said, we here at Championship Wrestling with our Child Search segment are going to try to help out with that. And another way that we can help out with it, not only in broadcasting the information about the children that are already missing, I think the most important thing is to try to keep this kind of tragedy from ever taking place to begin with. And one of the ways we can do this is to help inform children like Jason right here and let them know how to keep themselves safe. And Jason, I just wanted to, what we're going to try to be doing from week to week is give kids like Jason some little tips. And they're very basic things. And of course, Jason, now, you know, I'm a pretty good wrestler, right? Okay. Now, do you know how I got to be a pretty good wrestler? I'll tell you how. It's remembering some basic things. Like when somebody goes to hit me in the nose, I got to remember to duck. And so the ways that you can keep yourself really safe at all times is to remember some basic things. And one of the things that we're going to try to tell you, Jason, and all the kids out there is the very first tip, and it's so basic and it's so simple, is just never, ever go up to a car that has a stranger in it, somebody that you don't know. Will you always remember that, Jason? Okay, if there's somebody in a car and says, hey, kids, come here, if you don't know who it is, don't go, okay? Will you remember that? Okay, and all you kids out there remember that. And every week we'll have some basic tips like that, and it'll be so simple to keep kids like Jason safe. And hopefully we won't have to be having child search segments on here very long because we won't have any more missing children. Okay? Okay, Dave? Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys.
All right, we do want to take just, by the way, we're 2 for 2. And the 2 weeks of Championship Wrestling has been cooperating with law enforcement agencies on this. We've announced 2 missing children, and both of them have been found within hours from the time they were mentioned. We thank you for your cooperation on that. And we're asking you to help again this week. We have this week's missing child. This week's missing child is Kim Jordan. Kim Jordan is 15 years old. She's been missing since October 16th, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 125 pounds. She has long brown curly hair and blue eyes, possibly headed for California. That is the number at the bottom of your screen. If you have seen Kim Jordan or have any information on where she might be, please call area code 901-528-8400. 901-528-8400. Kim Jordan is the missing child for today on Championship Wrestling. We thank you for your cooperation on that.
Are you through?
Yes,
Are you finally
I am through for the moment,
I
yes.
cannot believe this is too boring out here. You know, let me give you some tips, baby. First of all, if a kid looks like Jason, nobody's going to want to steal the kid in the first place out here, man. So let me just say this, baby. Let me just say this. This is, you know, I am so valuable to professional wrestling right now. You know, did you wake up this morning and see me on Championship Wrestling, Georgia? Tell me, Channel 17, 55 million people all over the world. That's right, baby. New York City, all over the world. You know, I'm a very, very important man. Rich and famous, and I'm telling you right now, superstar in professional wrestling. But you know what I realized? I realized something. I said, you know, when I go to these arenas around the country, all over, there's a lot of little kids like this Jason kid and stuff that are calling me wimp and sissy and throwing things at me. When I turned my back in the ring, I had the Jerry Lawlers and the Valiants and these type people trying to stab me in the back. You know, Jerry Jarrett, right? Big-time promoter. You know, he's got him a bodyguard 24 hours a day. Boy, he's got that house of his all lit up. He's got guards, guns all over the place. You know, even Eddie Marlin, man. Eddie Marlin's got him a bodyguard that goes around with him. The President of the United States, well, I should say the President's got one, but the new President, Mondale, because I'm telling you, he's going to win hands down. There's no doubt about that. He's got bodyguards. Everybody has. Well, you know what I realized? I realized I am so important that I better get myself a bodyguard because, like I said before, you can't trust anybody anymore. You know, I was kidnapped not long ago by Austin Idol, and I ain't going to happen to me again. Now, see, there's those people again doing that. Well, that's the exact reason why I've got this man standing next to me. Come here, baby. This man is Dr. Detroit, baby. Don't listen to him. I want you to turn around and face this camera right now because I'm going to do something that's never been done before on TV, baby. I want you to take this mask off right here, baby. This, baby, is going to be my new bodyguard. Take your jacket off, pal. Take your jacket off right now. This is my new bodyguard. He's going to be with me 24 hours a day. Now, you know what I did for him, baby? I took him this past week and I had his name changed because like every good lord, every good master, every good boss, baby, you give somebody a name that you love. You give somebody a name that's going to stay with you 24 hours a day. When I go to the bathroom, this man's going to be with me everywhere I go from now on. And nobody's going to call me wimp sissy no more because if they do, he's going to reach out there, bring you up to me, and I'm going to slap you all over the place. You understand that? Well, look at these guns right here, baby. You see this right here? Now, this man, like I said before, is big and he is bad. Kung Fu, karate. He was a professional boxer. He won 59 professional fights before he retired, baby. Now, I want you to tell these people exactly what's going to happen to anybody that hurts me, baby.
All right, baby, this is what's going to happen. Anyone touch one string of hair in Mr. Hart's head.
That's right, baby.
We're going to knock you all the way back into next week.
That's right, pal. Next week. Look at these guns right here, baby. Now, one more thing that I want to get off my mind out here. You know, for the last year, I've been humiliated by Jerry Lawler. You know, he's got this Whip Buster record. You go to any mall in the city here, and you see Whip Buster T-shirts with my picture on the front of them. Yeah, laugh. Go ahead. Go ahead and laugh. Well, you know what? I decided today, I had a meeting with my first family. You know what I told them? I said, boys, it's time that we start to get going, and we start doing something, baby. Start getting our act together. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? We made up our minds. Lawler, Valiant, Rude, Savage, from now on, anybody gets in our way, they're going to get run over, pal. Run over. And I've got something in store today for Mr. Lawler and Mr. Valiant and Mr. Rude and Mr. Savage. Anybody, baby. You're going to see a new era in professional wrestling. So I hope you people stay tuned if you can keep awake out here from some of this junk that was on a while ago. Like I said before, my new bodyguard, baby. Show me these guns, baby. Show them to them. From now on, nobody touches Jimmy Hart. Nobody. That means nobody. You understand that? You understand it? Come on, Dr. D. Come on, baby. I mean, should I say Jimmy Hart Jr.? That's going to be his new name. I had his name changed to Jimmy Hart Jr. So when you call him, you say Jimmy Hart Sr. and Jimmy Hart Jr. Right, baby? That's right. Right, baby. That's right. You my boss, baby. Come on, baby.
All right, Jim. Jimmy Hart with his new bodyguard, formerly Dr. Detroit, now Jimmy Hart Jr. And political endorsements and all sorts of stuff from Jimmy Hart. Let's get wrestling action underway here as we go to the ring. There they come, the Macho Man and Sir Lenny. This is going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match coming up here. Introducing at a total weight of 504 pounds from Munich, Germany, Kurt Von Hess. His partner from Memphis, Tennessee, Keith Robertson. And going against him at a total of 470 pounds from St. John's, New Brunswick, Sir Lenny Poffo. And Sarasota, Florida, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee. The bell sounds, and we are underway as it's Sir Lenny Poffo starting against Keith Robertson. Lenny really going to work on Robertson back on the ropes and now hammering him with a right hand. Savage in to keep Kurt Von Hess out of the action. Lenny Poffo with Robertson down on the mat. Look out, Savage grabbing Von Hess, pulling him out of the ring. He got him down on the floor. Poffo with a cover in the ring. Count is 3. This one's over. Wow, Randy Poffo and Randy Savage. There goes Robertson, thrown out of the ring. While Randy Savage continues to punish Kurt Von Hess down on the floor. The match is over. Lanny Poffo and Randy Savage have won it. Time on the match. Only 32 seconds. 32 seconds. Look out, Lanny Poffo nailing Keith Robertson down here on the floor again. There goes Von Hess and now Robertson headed out of the ring. Let's take a quick look at, the match itself was quick as Lanny Poffo. There you can see Randy down on the floor working over Von Hess, and you can see in the ring where Lanny hooked Robertson down. The referee pulled away at the 3 count, and that was it as Lanny Poffo and Randy Macho Man Savage get the win in the match. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more champions. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll be back in a moment. This is some action that occurred with Randy Macho Man Savage, Sir Lanny Poffo, going against the Gilberts. It occurred at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. And watch what happens from outside the ring with Phil Hickerson. Let's watch right now.
Gilbert, I'm confused. As Lanny Poffo back, apparently, you help me, Lance, it was a situation. Look at that Lanny Poffo. Whoa, right into Tommy. Now Eddie is rolled up, and Paul Morton counting on him. He got that one. What I think happened was Paul anticipated the 3rd count, but his shoulders actually cleared before the 3rd count was made before. And now he is saying the winners will be Lanny Poffo and Randy Savage. Hart making an official complaint with the referee. Eddie Gilbert is eliminated. He will have to go back to the dressing room on this tag elimination. All right, little confusion here in this match. Eddie Gilbert pinned. He must leave and go back. It'll be Tommy Gilbert continuing by himself. Randy Savage, Lanny Poffo will go against Tommy Gilbert because Eddie Gilbert bid eliminated. Gilbert saying, no, I won't go. Eddie's saying that the 3 count was not made. Savage up, make him go back. Yes, sir. Tommy Grom. Lanny Poffo from behind as Lanny was going after Jimmy Hart. Lanny in trouble. Savage had chased Eddie Gilbert back. Now here comes Savage. Oh, dodge that knee. And now Savage going after Hart. Tommy battling a disadvantage for Tommy as he's left to go against both of them. Tommy in a row, Lance. Tommy really took advantage of an opportunity and jumped Lanny. Has been pointed to him. He came off that rope, the second one, with that knee.
and did more than just stun Poffo. Brother, he hurt him bad. And Tommy Gilbert trying to even things up. If Lanny Poffo is pinned, then he must return to the dressing room. And Randy Savage having a fit. He wants in there. Big elbow right at the base of the neck by Tommy Gilbert. Lanny caught in a chokehold. The referee breaks the choke. Tommy Gilbert turns around, smiles at Savage. I would never do that. Here comes Savage. Lanny gets to the corner, and the referee says, nope, no tag. Well, the crowd questions that call, but it's the referee explaining to Savage he did not make the tag. Gilbert punishing Lanny Poffo. He needs that pin. Then it'll be Savage and Tommy Gilbert. Hey, Phil Hickerson comes up and grabs Randy Savage from behind. Another member of Hart's family. He grabbed Savage, slammed him on the floor, then on our table. Hickerson pounding away on Savage. He is just beating him senseless at the table. While in the ring, Tommy Gilbert going after Lanny Poffo. Hickerson, he destroyed Savage. I mean, slammed him on the concrete, busted him on our tables, and then just beat on him. Savage bleeding profusely from both eyes, or at least the left eye. Tommy Gilbert slams Lanny Poffo, and Savage still, he is just about out of it on the table where Hickerson administered a savage beating. And going around behind for the abdominal stretch. Lanny Poffo has Tommy Gilbert caught. Randy Savage, I've never seen him jump and beat as hard as he was beat by Bill Hickerson. Lanny Poffo going for a submission with the abdominal stretch. The referee asking Gilbert, oh no, somebody else in the ring. Powder in Lanny's eyes, it'll be a disqualification. And the winners will be Poffo and Savage, but Lanny in the ring, all hooded. I don't know who it is. He's got Ziggy on his blue jeans. Tommy Gilbert kicking away on Savage. Boy, he is a mess. Savage covered with blood. Lanny down. Rope being dragged in by the hooded party. No doubt one of Jimmy Hart's aspiring first family members. Randy Savage being hammered around. and slammed Lanny Poffo into the table. It could be Eddie Gilbert with a mask on. With a mic cable, he's poking Lanny now. Officially, it's all over with. But unofficially, it's another story. Lanny hurled back in. Paul Morton shoved down by Tommy Gilbert. Lanny Poffo zinged by the mask, so whoever that is. A lot of the crowd hollering Eddie Gilbert, and the more I look at it, the size is right. While Tommy Gilbert is slaughtering Randy Savage. Whoa, here comes somebody. Handsome Jimmy on his way. And Hart and the Gilberts leave the ring. I think most of you championship wrestling fans are aware a few weeks ago there was a falling out between King Kong Bundy and his former partner Rick Rude. It resulted in the match Rude against King Kong Bundy, and here is what happened. Bundy tosses the lean Rick Rude all over the ring. Rude out of the way. Rude let his desire to get to Bundy. Straight in on Bundy. I just really don't think there are many men that can battle Bundy that way, even as strong as Rude is. Look at that backdrop. And there's not many men strong enough to put Bundy over on a backdrop. Right there, and we've got come on up here. Jimmy, we've got a match we got to get underway right now. You've already been out here a couple of times. He's got Rick Rude going against Phil Hickerson. Want to get it underway right now.
I know it. You've got to, like you said, you've got a match scheduled. But I went to Phil Hickerson a while ago, and he's in the first family now. And I asked him to step back because there's something that I want to talk about right now. So he's in the back right now. But there's something I want to say. You know, like I said earlier, everywhere I go, I've got these people that got Wiltbuster T-shirts, Wiltbuster records. My kids go to school all over the city here. The people are calling them sissies. Your daddy's a wimp. He's a coward, you know. And my daddy called me on the phone this week, and he said, you know, son, he said, I just saw you on some of the cable TV, and he said, everywhere you go, the people are making fun of you. He said, you're disgracing the Hart name. He said, you know, when I brought you up, he said, I never told you what to do and where to go, but he said, I'm going to give you some advice right now. He said, sometimes you got to do what a man's got to do. And he said, I know these guys that you're wrestling against are twice your size, but still, it's better to get beat up sometimes than to run and be called a coward and a quitter. So what I'm trying to say, Dave Brown, is this. I'd ask Phil Hickerson to step aside because what I'd like to do right now, instead of Phil Hickerson, I'd like for me to crawl in the ring right now with Rick Rude, and if Rick breaks my nose, if he breaks my jaw, if he breaks my leg, at least I can have self-respect for myself. And my kids can go to school this week, and at least they'll know that Daddy had enough guts to crawl into a ring with somebody, and the guy might be twice their size. So no matter what happens, I don't care, because at least I'm going to clear the record with all you people over there that I'm not a wimp or a coward anymore. So if Rick will come out here, I'll get in the ring with him right now, and the best man will win.
You're going to take Hickerson's place?
That's right.
You against Rick. Well, Rick Rude will have to agree to that change. He's trying to go in a match against Phil Hickerson, but I got to tell you, the opportunity to get Hart in there, 1 against 1, I got to think Rick Rude is going to like the idea. He comes through the door, he's got a smile on his face, as it's Hart by himself, right up there in the center of the ring. Yeah, Rick's coming this way. Rick, I don't know if you heard what he said. He's asked Hickerson to step aside. He wants to go against you 1 against 1.
Did you just see the tape?
Yeah, I did.
You ever hear what they say? Paybacks are... Well, I better not say that here on TV. But I want to quote a not-so-famous American. Gee, this has got to be the greatest day of my life.
I think that's an agreement to the change in the match from Rick Rude. It's going to be Rude against Jimmy Hart. As Hart, oh yeah, Hart up there on his knees in the ring. And there comes Rick Rude. Oh, what? Powder in the face. All right, immediate disqualification. All right, no bell. Immediate disqualification. Hart's got a pair of handcuffs. He's tried to handcuff Rick Rude. He's got his wrist cuffed, but it looked like the cuffs broke. Hart taking off his belt. There's some kind of vial. Oh, there's another one. Powder going in Rick Rude's face, went right in his eyes. Hart did that immediately. And officially, Rude got him waist locked, but Hart has him forced back into the ropes. Hart leaping out of the ring. Now holding on to distracting Rude. Look out, Dirty White Boys come in with studded belts wrapped around their fists. Now both the Dirty White Man and Hart going after Rick Rude. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get order restored, but can't do it. Hart using that belt as the Dirty White. Here comes Valiant and Lawler. They go after the Dirty White Boys while Rude, nailed by Hart with the folding metal chair. Dirty White Boys, one of them out here working on Valiant on the floor now. Hart with a chair in the ring nails Rude. Look out, Lawler picks picks up one of those belts brought in by the Dirty White Boys. He was choking him with it. Handsome Jimmy trying to grab him from outside, but the other one, Tony Anthony, grabbed him from out on the floor. Now here comes Dr. Detroit, the new bodyguard of Jimmy Hart. Hart leaves. Hart just walked away, and the bodyguard is tying Rick Rude's wrist to that top rope, while the Dirty White Boys are down on the floor still working on Handsome Jimmy and the King. Rude trying to get down there to help out, but he's tied to the top rope. Dirty White Boys keeping Valiant and Lawler out of it. Uh-oh, look out. Look out. White Boys, a couple of jars of molasses. And Dr. Detroit with a sack full of feathers. It's tar and feather time here. By the first family, Hart, his bodyguard, Dr. Detroit, and the Dirty White Boys. Rick Rude is loose now. His head rammed into the ring post over here. Dirty White Boys continue to dish out the punishment to Lawler, Valiant, and Rick Rude. And now they leave after the tar and feathers on Valiant, Lawler, and Rick Rude. Let's take a break, see if we can clean up some of this mess. We'll be back in just a moment. Set to go with tag team action here. This introduction, one fall 15-minute time limit match. Introducing at 222 pounds out of St. Petersburg, Florida, in the ring is John King. His partner out on the apron from Memphis, Tennessee, at 218 pounds, Jerry Bryant. And going against him at a total of 470 pounds from San Francisco, California, the Dirty White Boys. Referee Jerry Calhoun calls for the bell, and we are underway. At ringside, Dirty White Boys manager Jimmy Hart and his new bodyguard, Dr. Detroit, formerly Dr. Detroit. Hart with the unmasking earlier today. Here's Jerry Bryant in. He's against Tony Anthony of the Dirty White Boys now. Lynn Denton, the other, standing out on the apron. Body slam on Jerry Bryant. Anthony drops down with the upper arm. Nails Bryant with a fist as he's dropping. The end of the turnbuckle goes Bryant. Tag made by the Dirty White Boys. This is Lynn Denton. Denton, double arm across the back. And the slam on Jerry Bryant. Dirty White Boys pretty much in control so far.
You know what, I bet you're thinking right now, Jimmy Hart, you're going to need a bodyguard wherever you go, aren't you, David?
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially if Lawler and Mrs. Valiant are anywhere around. Dirty White Boys make a tag. Tony Anthony, Lynn Denton, they double team. Boy, they set up with that double upper arm, and as Jerry Bryant came flying back off the ropes, they met him about 3/4 of the way across the ring and popped him to the mat. There's a clothesline by Anthony. He drops down with a double forearm. Covers one, but he picks him up by the hair at the 1 count. I don't know if he could have held Bryant down for the 3 count there or not, but I suspect he perhaps could have. But not content to do that, he wants to inflict a little more punishment. Makes the tag. Here's Lynn Denton coming in. Denton using the top rope to help choke Jerry Bryant. Dirty Dirty White Boys continue to work on Jerry Bryant. They kept him in there a long time. John King, his partner, started the match, but made a tag fairly early in the match, and the Dirty White Boys have been able to keep Jerry Bryant in for the rest of the way. We're 2.5 minutes into the fall. This one is one fall only. 15 minutes to the overall time limit. Lynn Denton back in for the Dirty White Boys. Jerry Bryant does get the tag, and here's John King. King out of St. Petersburg, Florida, firing Lynn Denton into the ropes, but Denton grabbed him and suplexes him, put the reverse suplex on him. Tag made. Dirty White Boys exchange. Well, they don't exchange. They double drop suplex and a cover by Anthony. 1, 2, and 3, and they get it. As John King is pinned by the Dirty White Boys.
We could have beat him in a minute, baby, but we just wanted to have a little slight workout, baby. Yeah. We're ready from now on.
Well, they won the match, Jim. Dirty White Boys getting the victory here. It was pretty much Dirty White Boys all the way through the match against John King and Jerry Bryant earlier. The time on it, 3 minutes, 10 seconds, 3:10. The win for Jimmy Hart's Dirty White Boys. We'll be back with more Championship Wrestling as the studio cleanup continues here in just a moment. The big Russian Forinko stepping up onto the ring apron right now. This is going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. I think I said a handicap. Now, this is not a handicap match. This is a single match as Mark Batton of the new generation will be stepping in here as a single going against the big Russian. Mark Batton out of Charleston, West Virginia, 227 pounds. And the big Russian carrying the flag, Forinko. Referee Jerry Calhoun. He wants the flag out of the ring. And we are underway. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. Mark Batton, well, I tell you, outweighed considerably. Size goes to Forinko. Batton's going to have to use his speed to maneuver against Forinko. Boy, I tell you what, Forinko hammered him back in the corner. Batton trying to battle his way out. Forinko with a big broad arm. Batton's head into the turnbuckle. Forinko follows with a double forearm across the back. Forinko picking him up. Choking as he's doing it. Referee counting on the choke, and Forinko breaks it at the last instant to avoid a disqualification. Now Batton high in the air. Forinko dropped him. He didn't really slam him. He just kind of threw him to the mat. The rope ducks out of the way, comes up with a drop kick. That gets Forinko off his feet. But Batton goes back for another one and missed. And the big Russian with the cover now. Count is 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Well, as the crowd starts the USA chant, already Mark Batton has been pinned in 1:38 seconds. The big Russian Forinko, as he leaves the ring. Batton being helped out by referee Jerry Calhoun, and that's it. 1:38 seconds the time on it as the win goes to Forinko. I tell you what, I think we'll just keep it right here. That was only 1:38 seconds. Maybe we can just go right ahead and get our expiration of time match underway right now. It's going to be a tag team match coming up. So let's see if we can do that. Maybe get the destroyers in here and Handsome Jimmy and Jerry the King Lawler, and we will just continue with championship wrestling rolling right along here as long as we have time remaining. This will be an expiration of time match. That means could be one fall, could be 3 or 4, just depending on how much time there is. There are the destroyers, and in their corner, it's Jimmy Hart's new bodyguard, the former Dr. Detroit. Lawler and Valiant wasting no time. They're going after him. The referee says, don't bother with introductions. Let's just ring the bell because this one is underway. Lawler and Valiant saying, ready or not, here we come as they go after the destroyers. One destroyer thrown over the top rope by Jerry Lawler. Referee didn't see it. Valiant, Lawler with both of them on the floor. They run them together, and the destroyers hit the deck. Jerry Calhoun down here telling them, come on, got to get them back in the ring. One of them runs into the turn post. Boy, Lawler and Valiant most upset over the earlier incident here on Championship Wrestling. Still bearing the scars of the syrup and feathers. Destroyers both back in the ring. Handsome Jimmy with the upper arm as one of them comes off the rope. Lawler, look out. Lawler pile driving the other one while Handsome Jimmy is choking the spew out of the other destroyer. Referee with a hopeless task here. He's got Lawler and Valiant mad. They've got both destroyers in there, and they are just really letting them have it. There comes one at you, out of the ring, thrown out by Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Lawler with the other one slammed into the turnbuckle. He bounces back onto the mat. Valiant runs one into the ring post. Look out, Jimmy with a broom. He smashes the destroyer. Lawler, they're standing in the ring. Now he starts down on the floor. That's where both destroyers are. He grabs one, rolls him back under the rope. Valiant's got the other one down on the floor. He shoves him under the rope. Now it's everybody back in the ring. Two minutes gone in this first fall of action. Valiant looks like he's going for a sleeper on one of them. Oh, look out. Jerry Lawler throws the referee back. Valiant with a choke, Lawler with a choke on each destroyer. Lawler had him down to the mat. Referee started the count. Lawler said, I'm not going to pin him. Down is 2 for Valiant's destroyer. Valiant picks him up at the 2 count. Lawler used the right hand. Now the boot. Count is 2, 3, and that's it. Lawler gets the 3 count on the destroyer, so this fall is history. There they go. One over the top rope, one through the rope. Lawler and Valiant following down to the floor, and the former Dr. Detroit, new bodyguard of Jimmy Hart, trying to escort the destroyers out of the area. But the destroyers, one of them's gone, the other one being booted by the King. Lawler and Valiant upset, but victorious here in the first fall. They get the win in this first fall of action. Well, yeah, they're calling for the Dirty White Boys to come out here. I don't see them making a move this way. They're calling for them, though. I tell you what, we got to take a break, and we'll check our time, see if there's time for a second fall against the Destroyers when we come back in just a moment. Oh, I tell you what, time is up. and maybe just in time, too. Here's what happened today on Championship Wrestling. In our opening match, it was Randy Savage and Lenny Poffo coming out here. Mission. As Randy said, there was no $1 million robe from the Macho Man today, no armor for Sir Lenny Poffo. They were just out here to take care of business, and they did that against Keith Robertson and Kurt Von Hess. As Sir Lenny Poffo got the pin in 32 seconds, so Savage and Poffo had the win in the opening match. Then it was Rick Rude scheduled in a match against Phil Hickerson. Well, it turned out Jimmy Hart said he was going to defend the family honor, and he had asked Phil Hickerson to step aside, and he wanted a single match against Rick Rude just to prove that he was not a coward. So he stepped in there, and just before the bell sounded, he grabbed Rude, tried to handcuff him to the rope. The handcuffs broke, but they ended up finally tying Rick Rude up to the ropes. Threw powder in his eyes a couple of times. Then, when Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Valiant came out here to try to help, they brought out the syrup and the feathers, and it ended up with a whole tar and feather thing. And that one ended up Rick Rude actually officially the winner in 1 second, because it happened just as the bell was sounding disqualification, so the win officially for Rick Rude. Dirty White Boys going against John King and Jerry Bryant. They won rather handily in a little over 3 minutes in that one. Then it was Korchenko, the big Russian, defeating Mark Batton in about a minute and a half. Valiant and Lawler out here against the Destroyers, but it was not the Destroyers that they were thinking about. They were thinking about the Dirty White Boys, but they did defeat the Destroyers in 2 minutes, 53 seconds of action. So Hanson Jimmy Valiant and the King Jerry Lawler got the win. That's all the time we have for today. Lance Russell will be back with us next week. Until then, this is Dave Brown saying so long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.